Dave. Thursday, today, we're going to be doing a Tabata. We're going to do it a little bit different than we've done in the past, in that in this Tabata, we're going to be alternating between two exercises and be going for 8 minutes. We'll start with our warm-up, just going into those arm swings to start with so much. So how the Tabata works is we're going to be 20 seconds on, exercise A, 10 seconds off, 20 seconds on, exercise B, 10 seconds off, and then into exercise A again. Into hips. So that means today there's only 3 groups of exercises. Pulling back on those left fingers. Hips to the right, lean to the left. Left lean to the right. And a total of 6 exercises. I find this is a great way to maybe push ourselves a little bit more when we think of like push-ups, right? You're essentially going to be doing 4 minutes of push-ups, but it's going to be broken up, and that's going to expend your chest muscle a little bit more than you're used to. And generally how I have this built, we're going to our side lean, is it's going to be strength, cardio, strength, cardio. There is a little bit of hopping in today's workout. So if you 4 minutes of hopping is a lot. You don't always need it to be hopping. We'll have modifications for everything. All right, we'll interlock our fingers behind our head, pull our elbows back so they're in line with our ears. Then we're going to rotate through the torso. At some point, we'll probably need to modify all of the exercises just because it is difficult to do things for 4 minutes. All right, so I have all of the exercises actually on this page. So our first group is our push-up and split squat hops. So with the push-up, right, we could be doing incline, using a chair or a bench, all the way down, all the way up. Again, you don't need to be going all the way down, all the way up if that's not in your range of motion. You can just be doing what you can. We could be doing a regular push-up, or we could be going from the knees. And our split squat hops, we're in the split squat position, so it's like a lunge almost without the step, and we're hopping. Then halfway through at the 10-second mark, we'll switch sides. All right. I might not even count the rounds. I might just use the timer because the rounds are a little confusing. So I might hide that. And just as a bit of a warm-up, I'm actually going to start from the incline position. And my split squat hops, I'm probably not going to be hopping either. We're going to take the first round to warm up. So we're going in 3, 2, and 1. 20 seconds. Again, you don't need to blast through just because it's only 20 seconds. You need to pace yourself, because you have 4 minutes of them. I just looking over to see if the timer changed, so it's that time to break. Those split squat hops. Yeah, first round, I'm just warming up. Sides. All right. First round of 8 is done. Going to our push-ups. Nice, slow and controlled. You'd be going fast if that's more up your alley. Into our split squat hops. Again, I don't need to go full knee to the ground on these hops. It's more for the cardio aspect of hopping. Switch sides. I'm doing this. I don't even need to jump high, right? All right. Another round. Incline here. Actually, I'm going to go modified on the ground. Just demonstrate everything. A little slow. And, with modified, like I find modified easier than incline. You can go a little bit faster. Get the heart rate up a little bit more. If you find that you normally do regular push-ups. This is a bad spot for me to be. If you find those split squats hard, you could always go into like a chair squat, right? And then maybe just try to be a little quicker. You could do just regular squat hops or maybe quarter squat bounces, getting that cardio in there. The goal is just to keep your heart rate moving on that one. I always want to use that side of the room more when I know it's blocked off. But I know I'm not on camera when I do that. Wanted to get that extra one in there. That could really cut into my break. So you don't want to be doing that. And we got more of a strengthening move and then more of a conditioning move. Oh, you'd switch. Perfect. Push-ups again. Halfway there. I think this is the hardest group out of the 3. Time to stand up. Get my full break there. Whew, needed. So it's got hot. Show you what it looks like from the front, just so you can see placement of my legs, how far apart they are. I can land correctly. Switch sides. Just stays lifted the whole time. Another set of inclines. Coach this side. Even from incline, right? All the same principles are true. I move in a straight line through the maximum range of motion, which means I push all the way through, right? A lot of people like to stop their push-up halfway down. No, we push all the way through. My hips follow my shoulders, my ankles follow my hips. That creates that nice straight line. And then those hops. switch. I'll go switch from midair there, and you could certainly be doing something more like this. I just find working on one side really challenges your balance. It's something that we don't often think about that we need to be working on. One more. All right, we got one more set of those. More sets of those split squats. Maybe this round I will do the alternating, just to show you. And you can take your time, right? Like you can take your time, set up, land, jump, take your time, set up. You know, it's still a cardio move. You're still jumping. You're still working hard. Oh, I got my arms all mixed up here. Wait, don't think about things. All right. And last set of push-ups, I'll just go modified from the ground again to demonstrate those. Again, you can be doing these relatively quickly, but I'm still moving through that full range of motion. Burning out that chest because it's my last set. On those split squat hops. Oh boy. I am not looking forward to those walls. I won't say that much. Switch. All right. Stop that timer. Go ahead and grab some water. Oh boy. Okay. All right, so wall sit and curl. You do need a wall for this. We're going to get into that wall sit position. And then we're just curling our arms. If you have weights, you can go ahead and use those weights, but the curl is more just to keep your mind off things. And then our walkout from the standing tall position, you're just going to walk down, walk out to that high plank position, stand back up. If you need a modification for that, it's the hips, knees, ankles, ceiling. If you need a modification for the wall sit and curl, we're just holding that half squat, holding that quarter squat. You know, it could even just be holding this position based on your ability. All right, but without further ado, we'll start this next 8 minutes. 3, 2, and 1 with the wall sit and curl. Elbows are pinned to the side, squeeze the biceps at the top. I don't like wall sits, but they are good for you. All right. Ready for those walkouts. Probably will only get, 1, 2, 3 walkouts in, depending on your speed. That's okay. One more. I could have done one more, but I was thinking I was doing math. Okay, we know 3 is sort of what fits into our time budget. Okay, stand up. Walk it from the front. Ooh, those legs. Alright, so we're gunning for 3. That's sort of what we have in the budget there on time. Alright, and I'll demonstrate both the modifications on this one. We're just going to hinge at the hips, bend the knees, then we're into the curl all the same, keep the chest lifted. Try to sink that butt a little bit lower if you can, a little bit lower if you can. Then you really feel the burn in those quads. Everything's activating there. Perfect. Again, just to make that easier, you can stand up a little higher. All right. Now we have our hips, knees, ankles, feeling, hips, knees, ankles, feeling. The only modification you could do on this one is a burpee. I find walkouts and burpees to be about the same level of difficulty in different ways. So it's really personal preference there. We'll sit and curl. Ooh. Sure, we have that 90-degree in our wall sit. Our feet are right under our knees. Now we're sinking our hips so that our hips are in level with our knees as well. Right into that walkout. Right position, no wobbling. I wobbled a bit there. Go figure, as I say, no wobbling. There we go. Nice and strong. All the way through. Got one more in me real quick. Probably didn't extend, but I wanted my full 10 seconds. Up break. Ooh. That wall sit. Feet a little bit in under those knees a bit more. Nice and strong. Even those curls. Sometimes I forget about curls and just focus on the form of the wall sit. But, you know, the curls are supposed to take your mind off the wall sit. 20 seconds goes by either way. Oh, into our walkouts. You'll notice you want to wobble a little bit more as the rounds go on because you're tired. Just take your time. If instead of 3, you're only doing 2 walkouts, that's okay. Form above all else. Try to get the head against the wall as well. That's something a lot of people don't think about, and they don't realize how forward their head posture is, where if we keep that chin neutral, head against the wall, we sort of feel what correct posture should be like. Okay. So the round of walkouts, lucky us. I will say this round does feel a lot easier than the previous. I don't have time for a second one or a third one. See, focus on form a little bit more there. That's what I got. Alright, we'll go through this round normally. Last round I'll modify again. Head against that wall, chin at neutral. That's what cell phones and sitting on a computer for 8 hours a day can do if you don't properly stretch. This will feel extremely abnormal to have your Head against the wall, chin at neutral. Not too bad for me because I do get up and stretch, but if you notice, and I'm modifying, no I'm not, modifying next round. If you notice that's extremely difficult for you to get your head against the wall and your chin to neutral, you might want to consider joining one of our stretch classes, trying a movement snack or movement for mood. When you get the chance, and see, I'm really slow on those now. And I'm modifying. And I could just be modifying in this quarter squat position, keeping my chest lifted. It's not as demanding on my quads, and then if I want to make it more demanding, I just sink down a little bit more into that squat. I keep that chest lifted. You don't need to do the curl as much, but if you find that helps keep your mind off the pain in your legs, all the power to you. And I'll finish off those hips, knees, ankle ceiling. Hips, ankles, ceiling. Alright, just for the last round, because I want to get a cool down in, we're going to be shortening it to 6 minutes. You know, I just heard the cry of 1,000 people doing my exercise class. They want more. They want to be doing more Tabata. But we're just going to get right into the workout. 6 minutes. I'll demonstrate as we go along. Our rear delt fly, we're hinging at the hips. Elbows are up. And we're squeezing the shoulder blades in the back. Big thing with this one, keep the elbows at shoulder height the whole time. Squeeze the shoulder blades in the back. Shoulder blades in the back. And try to touch the elbows together as well. Our 90-degree squat hops. We're going to be in the quarter squat position. Hop 90 degrees, 90 degrees, 90 degrees. And I got myself out of a break, but worth it for the demonstration. Again, if you need a modification for this, we're just turning, quarter squat, turn, quarter squat, turn, quarter squat, right? Nice soft landings. Just like that. Okay, I'll show you from the front what the rear delt fly looks like. I hinge at the hips all the same. My elbows are up, touching, and then I spread them apart, squeezing my shoulder blades in the back, squeeze them together. Squeeze the shoulder blades, touch the elbows. You could be holding light weights for this, like, you know, even a couple cans of soup or something, and the added weight really makes a difference. But even that weight of your arms is enough to get those shoulder muscles activated. All right, now you do your squat hops. I take my time to set up here, right? Like, I want my landing to be nice and soft. That's the most important thing. I could be, you know, just whipping through, but for my knees and ankles' sake, I'm not going to do that. We could also do more of a bent over, like prone T, right? Hinging at the hips, squeezing the shoulder blades in the back. If this is more suitable for you. Sort of the same group of muscles, but the rear delt fly with the elbows up will get a little bit more anterior delt as well. And again, if we want to modify on this one, we'll do a rounded modification. We're squatting, turn, squatting, turn, 90 degrees each time. And if you want to be a little quicker, you could, you know, do more of a quarter squat, moving through, just like so. All right, we're only doing 6 minutes so that we can stretch, so we're halfway there, which is really nice. Elbows are up for the rear delt fly, hinge at the hips. I keep my elbows lifted nice and high, shoulder height. You can see my elbows are at the same level as my shoulders. I'm squeezing at the back, separating at the back, and I'm touching my elbows together. Finish that range of motion. Another 90 degree squat hop. Yeah, if you use weight on that one, you don't need a lot. Like I usually use 5 pounds when I do that one, 10 pounds at most if I'm doing like, 8, 9, 10 reps. It is a hard exercise. That was not fluid. One more. Okay. This round is by far the easiest, but that's okay. The first 2 rounds were pretty tough. Hinge up the hips, elbows are up. Squeeze the shoulder blades in the back. Again, that hinge at the hips just adds a little bit of weight and takes the leaning back out of the equation, right? Like this is really easy to do and I'm not really doing anything. So that hinge forward adds a little bit of weight to the arms because it's taking out a lot of the other body parts that you can use to support yourself. I am way off on my timing. So what we're going to do is we're going to go right into the last, bad landing, last round. After we're done this round, we go right into it. Sometimes doing math and exercising is hard. I was trying to add together 20 seconds for some reason, when really I just need to stop at the 20 and the 50 mark. Just like that. Take our last 10-second breather. We're going to go into those squat hops, or again, if you need to modify, it's just turn, squat, turn, squat. All right, we'll stop that timer. I'm going to use my chair or bench here to start off. And we're going to do our seated pitch in. I'm crossing my left leg over my right. And just a slight lean forward. We used a lot of muscles that we're stretching here right now. Right here it is your glute med, side glutes, whatever, side hip, that's just that section here. I'll show you on this side. Right here is where we're stretching. We'll go into that half kneel position. My left leg a little bit greater than 90 degrees in the bend. I'm going to push my hip forward. My right knee is down, so my right arm comes up. I'm going to pull back on those fingers. Just to elongate that stretch a little bit more. You should be feeling that stretch in the hip flexors there. Again, a muscle that we used a lot of today. We'll switch sides. Left knee is down, so my left arm comes up. All right, then we'll stand up. Do our door frame stretch. So I just grab the door frame a little bit below shoulder height. Turn through the top of my torso there. Just getting that stretch in my chest and in my shoulders. We'll switch sides. Tough to see me on this angle, I know, but you understand the idea from the last one. All right, and I think that is good enough to call it a day. I hope you guys enjoyed today's workout. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And if I don't talk to you for the rest of the day or tomorrow, I hope you enjoy your weekend. See you next time.